Hey guys, welcome back to another gang stalking video. Now I don't feel too good, but you'll have to excuse me. This video is on weapons and mind control. If that sounds a bit out there to newer TIs, I can tell you that it's not. This is the crux of the program, and that is your government is experimenting and using weapons on you. And that is a fact. It is a sad fact, but a fact nonetheless. So I hope you hang around and listen to what I have to say, because this is what I have experienced. Okay, there's a few things I want to get off the bat that we're all going to go through. We're going to be paranoid, we're going to be depressed, and we're going to feel despair. I think that's common with what we're going to go through, you know. That's part of the program. Okay, the first thing I'm going to throw out is brain fog. You're going to feel a very heavy head, maybe like a hangover. You're going to like your short-term memories slipping. But brain fog is very common for anyone that's had weapons on them for any period of time. Another one, tinnitus, ringing in the ears. Now, I've worked in a factory half my life, and I had a little bit of tinnitus, but this is completely different. This is tinnitus to the max. And at times, I can feel a frequency change in my ear. It's like my ear is being dialed in, which is, I think that's exactly what it is. But tinnitus is very common. Another thing which I never used to do, and I've started to since my targeting, is talking to myself. It was never a thing. I think it's coerced, or they sort of they coerce it out of you to pre-announce your plans. Make stalking and the next setup of street theatre a little easier for them. But talking to myself was something I've never done. Another thing, talking in my sleep, waking up mid-conversation. Almost, at times, it's almost seemed like I'm being interrogated. Very real. Another thing that I've never heard anyone say, it may be, but I'm going to throw it out there, is I wake up and I'm moaning in pain, and I sort of wake up and I'm hearing someone, crying out like they're wounded. I'm thinking, what the fuck? What am I watching on YouTube? What have I let bloody run on the iPhone, But it's me. And when I wake up, there's no pain. There's just me like a wounded bull, whinging. Sleep deprivation. I don't sleep in more than... I never sleep for more than 2 to 3 hours. I believe they stimulate the mind to prevent this. I think that's pretty common. I've said it before, it's the backbone of the program. Makes you more susceptible, and it makes the mind more malleable, if you know what I mean. I'm sure you do. I've had my hand you're probably not going to see it. This area here was really badly burnt. One morning I woke up. That looks minute there. It was probably a 1 3/4 to 2 inch scar that healed up remarkably fast. And it was bizarre because I don't self-harm. I don't have a lighter in the house, yet this burn, appeared on my hand. So, eyes that are sore. I feel it from more in the socket behind the eye, and I'll also have the eye twitch, like really twitch at times. I've also heard that that's fairly common. I've had something biting my feet. When I was a young bloke, little baby, my sister told me that she used to tickle my feet. Well, it's become a phobia when I'm an old bloke. And they've obviously used that intel to create something between the brain and the feet to, drive me a bit silly. It's not quite like a bull ant bite, if you've had one of those, but it's strong enough that you sit up and notice, and it feels like hundreds of ants are nibbling away at your feet. Of course, you look down and there's nothing there. It's all done in the mind. What have we got next? Skin marked up. I should have shaved, but the back of my jaw, back of each side of my jaw, just under the ear, I've got a huge scar at the back of this ear, like a bloody near a 5-inch scar. I believe they have targeted that area, and my teeth, my back teeth, like right where it is, are eroding and wearing away quite rapidly, or decaying, or whatever it is, really rapidly. I think that's radiation, and you can see I'm marked up. I had near perfect skin when I was a boy. This at times here is a near perfect circle, like it's target practice on my head there. This isn't. Look, maybe it's eczema, psoriasis. I don't know, but it's only occurred since I was targeted, and I'm going to throw it in there. They know that I'm vain and worried how I look, which I've thrown out the door since I made this channel, because there's no hiding when you're a TI. But I think it's done on purpose. Maybe I'm speculating. I hope not. Also, when I'm hit at the back there, my lymph nodes, we got lymph nodes around the jaw, they swell up like, I've swollen up like a bullfrog a few times, where my chin has basically fused to my chest, and you can't swallow, you can't eat. It's a horrible time, and this is only since targeting. Now, the next two are the most concerning thing that I've been through, apart from the mind control, and these are weapons induced. The first one was something, well, it's happened a couple of times, something piercing my lungs. It feels like it goes almost through your body. You can't breathe. To breathe is agony. My mother went through this. She died of aggressive cancer and then dementia. And look, I believe she was killed, but I'll talk about that later. It's going to be a really tough one. But I went to the hospital, the same hospital my mother went to, and I had the same result. They wouldn't tell us what the problem was, and we were in there for, proper observation for days, and they gave us nothing. I believe that we were hit with the neuro weapons. I absolutely believe that. The other thing is the nervous system. There's times when I'll shake uncontrollably, like a Parkinson's patient, victim. And there's some times where it's even hard to, you couldn't even hold a pen. You shake that much. Well, this is very new because I've had a very active life, I used to kick the footy, I worked on cars, I always kept active. And this period of my life, from 30 to 40, has just gone downhill so rapidly, and it's because of I used to think, why have you become a lazy bastard, but I wish it was just that. It's not. I can see it's something far more heinous. Okay, I'm going to go into the mind control. There's things I've left out of this section. I've had to clean it up a bit because I just don't want to go there yet. I'm sure you can understand. It's a bit raw. Okay, I believe I've been through 3 phases. The first one was a suicide or self-destruct program. During this time, they'd killed. They killed my mum. My back was blown out at work, like badly blown out. Broken back. I was prescribed opiates for years, Oxycontin and Endone. If you know either of those drugs, they're serious business, and they'll, I believe they were prescribed to get me bedridden and fucking, so they could work on me. I went into just a deep depression. Whether it's a bloody coincidence or not, I spiraled into a deep depression, watching serial killers gore, researching Pizzagate, feeling sorry for kids at a traffic. Like, I went deep into depression. Looking back, I had a court case that was just going nowhere. It was just stringing me along, making me just... This was a horrible time in my life. And you can attribute these stages to coincidence, that's fair enough. But when you're a target, things add up. Anyway, I tried suicide, and I will do a video on that. Got to be delicate how I handle that, but yeah, that was I believe the first stage of my programming. Okay, the next one, I believe I was programmed to harm. There were weapons placed in my house. I had my nephew come and stay with me under the guise that he was troubled and he needed somewhere to live. He planted weapons in my house. He bleached a knife into my carpet. And of all the things that then he staged a fight and left. But of all the things that he left a Bruce Lee box set. He left a statue of a samurai warrior. And it was all subliminal. It was all to get me fired up. You may have to be in my shoes, but at the time, I had people agitating me at the home. They were fucking kicking my fence, rattling my doors, bloody all sorts of shit. They wanted me to strike out, and I had this samurai sword in the house. They wanted me to be the next bad guy that gives the TIs a bad name, right? This is true. And my interest suddenly shifted from watching serial killers and documentaries to John Wick, which I fucking love John Wick, but I'd watch John Wick, but vendetta type of, last man standing type, vendetta type videos. Maybe a coincidence, but as a TI, I don't think so. All right, the last one, and the tough one, the toughest one, is sexual programming. It's associated with drugging. I had an increased libido at the time, like a rabbit, like a rabid bloody rabbit. They were pumping in horrid dreams, images that were inappropriate to my head. There was sleep paralysis, which, if you've had that, that is nasty stuff. You're on the verge of waking up, but you can't, and you're watching something that you really don't want to see, and you're desperate. You're fighting to get out of it. Horrible stuff, along with the drugging. But I believe I've fought through all of these programs. Actually, another thing, geez, I've got to go to the toilet, but I've got to finish the video. With the sexual stuff, there are also holograms and images beamed into my house. This is, I'm telling you the truth here, this is very much a real thing, and they did this to me. Now, being through these programs, you start to lose sense of self. You're thinking, I'll never be myself again. They've taken my humour. They've taken my essence. They've taken everything. Well, I'm fighting back, and it's coming back. The old me is fucking coming back, and I encourage all of you guys to get out there and meet other TIs. There are real TIs that want to help. Most want to help. You've just got to uncover who is real. There's a lot of perps, but get out there, get your message out, talk to others, and fucking kick this thing in the balls. I'm going to go to the toilet. This is fucking horrible. I'm sorry. But I love you guys. Hey, if you want to message me, I'll give you my fucking number. I'll give you my email. So, stay strong. I love you. Good on you guys. See ya.